Hey there, Ramon Osa with you here. A little bit of a different video today. Today we're talking about massage guns. And you may have seen these things before, these little handheld devices that a lot of tennis players are using. And Bob and Brad, who are the self-proclaimed most famous physical therapists in the world, fantastic YouTube channel, by the way. They've got a lot of great videos on that channel. They reached out to me and they said, hey, Ramon, we got this massage gun. We'd like for you to give it a whirl and see what you think about it. And as someone who has dealt with his fair share of injuries and is now looking for any possible way to stay on the tennis court as long as possible and to play as well as I possibly can, I said, yeah, I'd give it a whirl. So massage guns, what's great about them is there's a number of things that they have been proven to do. And one of those is to break up some of these knots that we have in our muscles. You know, a lot of us as we get older, we just tend to get tight in general. And so massage guns actually break up some of the fascia, the net or the webbing that holds these muscles together, and actually makes the muscle more pliable, makes it more accessible to more ranges of motion, which is really, really good. Now the next thing it does is it starts to create more circulation in the muscle. So if you live somewhere cold, or if you just in general, show up to the court and it takes a little while to get the blood pumping, this is a great tool for you to be able to start getting that blood flow moving and really stimulating that part of your circulatory system. Speaking of the circulatory system, or the lymphatic system, I should say, we've got this stuff called lymph. And lymph basically carries the waste away from our muscles. And these guns actually do a great job of stimulating the lymphatic system, getting some of that waste stuff out there so that just things tend to work better. There's maybe not as much remnants of lactic acid that we had the day before. And when it comes to what they call delayed onset muscle soreness, that day after you work out or the day after you play tennis, you're kind of sore in some places. Well, these have been proven to reduce delayed onset muscle soreness, which will just get you on the court faster, which is really good. Now, I've seen a bunch of these, and the first thing that struck me about this particular gun was it has this really cool attachment, which actually has heat and cold. So if you hit one button, if you can see, it turns orange. And if you press it again, it turns red. And this actually gets really pretty warm pretty fast. So again, if you have issues warming up, or if you live somewhere cold, this attachment alone is really, really cool. And I'd never seen this before in another massage gun. It's also got a cold function. So if you're using this after tennis and you want to sort of cool down the muscle, this little silver tip gets really cold. And again, we can press it again, it turns blue, and then it gets pretty darn cold. So a great way to sort of ease some of the inflammation at the end of a workout. And again, with most of these guns, you've got a, kind of a standard attachment here. And as I press the button, it just switches on there. Helps if you have the thing actually plugged in. And it's got about 5 different settings that have different speeds. And we can attach these different attachments to it here. So whether you want the round, which is a really good starter to go with, or if you want a little bit more of a flat head, and then if you're feeling particularly spicy, you got the double sort of pointed end, and you've got this bullet end attachment. So those really tight trigger points where you have some really bad knots, maybe you get it in your shoulder or different areas of your leg or your arms. This is really good for kind of breaking up some of that tightness and maybe giving you some more access to be able to mobilize and to be able to stretch out your muscles. So my sort of unbiased opinion, and they did send me this. This is a paid promotion. They are a sponsor of the channel, and I want to thank Bob and Brad for reaching out and supplying me with this because it's a very high quality device based on what I've seen so far. So the things that might be a little bit deterring, I guess, one is it's a more expensive massage gun than some. I've seen these that range from, let's say, $30, and they have them upwards of, I think, $200 or $300. This particular model is $109 on Amazon, which again is not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive. And the other thing is, I don't know yet how long the battery life is. I'm sure they have stats on the website. I probably should have found out about that. So I can't tell you how long the battery lasts. And I've just started using it, so I don't know in terms of the quality how long it's going to last. But based on what I know about Bob and Brad and their channel and the content that they've given out for years, or probably decades at this point, I can't imagine they would not have a very high quality manufacturer helping them with these. The other thing about massage guns in general is if you don't use them correctly, you can actually create some problems. So you don't want to use this on your bones, for example. That would not be a good idea, and I've made that mistake a few times. And you don't want to use it on your nerves because, you know, like if you caught it on your wrist, for example, that might be very painful. So you want to stay away from your bones, stay away from any nerve areas where you might get a sharp pain. And you want to stay away from generally very tender areas or any areas that you might have skin issues or you know, a rash or anything like that. User competence is really important when you're using these things. And just take it easy. Start slow. You know, don't start on level 5 if you're new to sort of self-myofascial release is the fancy word for it. Start nice and slow and start with just a few minutes before you head out to the tennis court and see how it works for you. This particular gun, again, I like it a lot. It's got this nifty little carrying case and it appears to be very high quality. So I want to thank Bob and Brad for sending this video out. I really appreciate them doing all that they've done for just people who want to stay healthy, fit, and pain-free. And if you want one of these, there's a link in the description. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.